this tea, honey. So, let's talk about Black Panther. So, I was supposed to go see it next week because a friend of mine wound up getting tickets and was like, oh yeah, we're gonna go get the tickets for next week. And of course, I was like, excuse me, because first of all, this is a film that I understand, like it's all about the seating and this, that, and the third. You want to get good seats, which is why you get them shits the minute they hit the damn internet. But for me, I was just like, you know what? I can't wait till next week because I already know people gonna spoil stuff. I need to know. I need to be in the know. I need to be in the zeitgeist and in the moment before. I don't like waiting. First of all, for anything or anybody, I've been waiting too long. So I was like, I need to go see this movie. Just like I seen the first one open the weekend, I need to go see this one open the weekend. So I'm definitely gonna go see it next week with my friends. But for the most part, I needed to kind of get this film. I need to see for myself, everything because this is a film I've been waiting for a long time. And I know, excuse me, Ryan Coogler had ideas and things and already had a script written before the untimely passing of Chadwick Boseman. So then when that happened, he had to go in and make some changes. And I think that a lot of the ideas that he initially had for the other film, the original already done script, is still in this movie. But I think what happened was he left those ideas still in there, but he had to rework everything because Chadwick Boseman was not able to do the film. So I actually like what they did with this movie. First of all, we got to start out like in the opening sequence. It kicks off where Shuri's trying to literally find a way to save her brother. I'm not going to go into spoilers on exactly what he dies from, but it's a given based on if you saw the trailer and that big ceremony where you saw them all in the white and the coffin, the dancing, which is what a lot of Black people, if you're from New Orleans, if you're from Africa, it's all about celebrating life when you go off to the afterlife. It's not about, oh, we need to sit and mourn and cry and this, that, and the third. So a lot of that was in this film. So I think it's not a secret that they, just like Chadwick Boseman died in real life, and you saw the memorials and this, that, in the trailer, that they pretty much killed him off. So I'm not going to spoil because if people haven't seen yet how he dies, you can see that when you see the film. And there's that amount of, I could have done what I could have done to save him. So there's that guilt that Shuri's dealing with, that she couldn't save her brother because she has all this technology in the world, that the ancestors have given her the ability to come up with these ideas of trying to find ways to save people, but she couldn't save her own brother. And so I did like the celebration of Chadwick Boseman. And I did well up a little bit. Like, this is definitely a movie where even the strongest person will end up feeling emotional. You'll start crying. This is definitely an emotional movie. And I have to say that I love what Ryan Coogler did in regards to the visuals, the slow-mo, the way he was just like, the way we saw it in regards of like the visuals of Chadwick and and T'Challa, and celebrating Chadwick Boseman, who was an integral part of this film, and the cast loved him. And it's not something we could have just brushed over. I mean, it would have been easier to go and say, you know what, let's just recast. Let's just do like Andy, what was his name? Andy Whitfield, back from, remember when Spartacus, like he died from the same, I don't think it was the same kind of cancer, but he died of cancer. And when he died, they had to recast the role, which I guess kind of works because it's TV. However, I think it was different because it was this movie starting out the franchise. So I guess, I don't know, they just felt that they needed to honor him in some sort of way. And I felt like they did that. Now, after that, I did love like the opening. You know how like in the opening when you see Marvel and they show you all the different superheroes and this, that, and the other that's coming through the pictures and all that other stuff. I love the fact that specifically in this film, it was just Chadwick Boseman and him in different states of T'Challa and Black Panther. So I did love that this was specifically just for him. So they definitely did the damn thing. And as I said, with honoring him. So I even loved the opening. Opening was the best part. So now we fast forward a year later. Queen Ramonda is basically running Wakanda. She's gone to the UN. Now, from ever since they opened up Wakanda to the world, they're upset because she hasn't really been, I guess, fulfilling her end of the bargain, or as T'Challa's end of the bargain, where he opened it up and they were supposed to share vibranium with people. However, when it comes to colonizers, when it's like oh yeah, we're supposed to do trading, but no, we don't want to just trade. We want to steal your shit and then try to do what we can with it. But of course, they weren't having that. So the Dora Milaje got to step in, and because now they're in this moment of weakness because they don't have a Black Panther. Now people are kind of pouncing in and trying to state claim of what is in Wakanda as in colonization. But of course, so now everybody's got to step up. It's like the Dora Milaje got to step up and other members of Wakanda have to step up. And I was kind of hoping we would get more of that, but I realized maybe that was cut down a bit because of, the death of T'Challa. I did feel like at times the movie focused a little too much on the fact that Chadwick Boseman's character was no longer a part of this film because of what happened to the real life actor, which I think hindered the movie a bit. And I felt like they should have focused on tightening up things in the movie because, let's be clear, this movie was too damn long. No shade, but shade. It's like this film was too damn long. I showed up at the theater because the movie was supposed to start at 10 o'clock when I went to the theater this morning. So I went and I saw the 10 a.m. show, got there at 9:30 because I was like, let me go to the bathroom, let me get ready, let me just relax because I went and saw it in Dolby Theater. Shout out to the Dolby Theater over at the AMC. Y'all definitely do the damn thing. Like I felt every damn situation with them reclining seats. But so I got there, I was there from 9:30, did not leave the theater until about 1 in the afternoon. That is way too much time for my ass to be sitting and watch the movie. I felt like almost I was watching the 4-Hour Justice League. Like it was literally like I was there for man long. So I needed them to okay, now if you're gonna make this movie long, y'all need to tighten that film up a bit. And there were just scenarios in this movie that I felt like you've spent too much time on, and it could have been tightened up. But maybe 20 minutes could have been cut, or if you were gonna make it long, it should have been focused on some things. Like there were certain problems I had with the lighting. Like the beat sequence looked a little too dark when we first see Namor. I'm gonna get to him in a minute. And there were scenarios where it was just like the special effects in certain situations kind of gave me the first Black Panther issues, where I have to say this, I hated that third act of Black Panther, the fight between Killmonger and Black Panther. That shit literally looked like something out of the damn computer that y'all just put together, like a little video game, and with the special effects was still like they were working on it. And I feel like that's been an overall problem because we've been seeing way too many superhero movies, and where there's so much special effects is involved that by the time the movie is ready to be released, you don't really put a lot of time and effort into making those special effects pristine, because it's not enough special effects studios, but too many movies that need special effects, especially with the amount of work that's coming out. And we saw that there was an article that was done where a lot of these special effects teams feel like they're overworked and overwhelmed with the amount of work that they have to do with such a small group of people who are doing these effects. So there was a little problems with the special effects, but I don't think the action, in my opinion, this is the negatives a little bit. The action really stood out for me. Like it was nothing that really wowed me. You're seeing one car chase a Soto, but I will say this. My favorite sequence that I liked in the movie was when Okoye, who, my girl Denai Guerrero, I live for her ever since she was on The Walking Dead. My favorite scene was when she went and she was fighting members of the Talokans, which are like the underwater people, which I know James Cameron about to be tight, because them people are like the blue people that he had with Avatar, except I may be in the minority, but I hated Avatar. I did not like the first movie. I could give a damn about the sequel coming out and the third one and the fourth one y'all got in the work. I don't care about these damn blue people. Congratulations to you with all these special effects and all these little groundbreaking camera work and stuff that you're doing with this movie. But I've never really cared about that weak ass script that you did with that first movie. And I really don't care about the second one. But y'all have at it. When y'all go in IMAX and Dolby and all these in 3D and 4K and all this other shit y'all gonna see that movie in, you go ahead and have at it. I will keep my ass home and wait till it come out on television or Netflix or whatever streaming service, and I'll watch it then. But I don't care. But anyway, bringing it back, he probably gonna be tight because the water people that was in this film, I won't say they were similar. I mean, the only thing that they had in common was that they were blue. But I did like the water effects that he was doing with the movie, and I did love the fight sequence that Okoye had with the Talokans on the bridge when they were trying to go after Riri Williams, aka Ironheart. Now, I am looking forward to the Ironheart series that they have coming out because Shea Coulee about to be on there too, and I like the actress that played, Ironheart, and I actually like the Riri Williams character because a lot of people don't really know much about Riri Williams and Ironheart, but if you read the comics, she is like the female black version of Iron Man, but she's a different, her own little superhero. So she has a spinoff coming out on Disney Plus next year, I believe. But I actually like what they did with her in this film, although I didn't really particularly care for her suit. Y'all can work on that. Angela Bassett, I have to say, hands down, one of the best actresses of our time. I really think that we need to see more of her in stuff. I mean, what am I talking about? We see so much of Angela. Like I watch her on 911. Anytime she's in a movie, I'm gonna watch her. She will always be Bernadine from oh my god, Waiting to Exhale. But my favorite movie of Angela Bassett's, I don't know if many people have seen this movie, but I loved her in Strange Days. That is a film that I don't think enough people have seen. It is one of my favorite movies of hers. It's a science fiction mind F of a movie. Definitely check that out if y'all can. It's not even available on a streaming service or anywhere, but I do have it on DVD. So every now and again I do revisit it. But I just love that movie. Captain Bigelow directed that. She's an underrated director, even though she did The Hurt Locker. But she's underrated with that. But yeah, Angela Bassett, her performance in this movie is Queen Ramonda. Pristine. I know a lot of people have been saying, I've been hearing rumblings that she may be up for an Oscar. I hope this is true. But to me, a lot of the scenes that she was in that we saw was pretty much in the commercials. So I don't know how that's going to work. But if they find the opportunity to actually get her out there as a Best Supporting Actress Oscar, I would definitely love her to win, because here's the thing. Angela Bassett is a damn good actress who has been slept on by Hollywood for far too damn long and deserves her damn flowers. So y'all need to give her an Oscar. I don't care how you give it to her. You never gave it to her when she played Tina Turner in What's Love Got to Do With You, which she should have won the Oscar for that. But if you're not going to do that, give it for this one. Just like Whoopi Goldberg should have won for The Color Purple, but y'all wanted to give it to her for Ghost. I don't care. Just give her an Oscar. Okay, so now let's talk about Tenoch Huerta, who actually plays Namor in the Tenoch Huerta. How I discovered him, he was in the last Purge movie. Had a big part in it, but this one was like his big debut, which is why I guess in the film it says introducing. He was definitely one of my favorite anti-heroes that I've seen out of the MCU in a long time. Because the villains can be pretty hit or miss with Marvel movies, but Tenoch definitely did the damn thing as Namor. I definitely love the fact and seeing, like, with all the cosplay, especially like with Comic-Con this year, how there was so many guys, gay guys especially. One of my friends, Miguel, did a great cosplay of Namor at Comic-Con this year. It was awesome at New York Comic Con. I've been seeing a lot of the cosplays, and I'm definitely certain Halloween next year and future Comic Con, even the LA one, because they didn't have it before then, but it was a New York one because it was closest to the time of Wakanda Forever coming out. So I could definitely see a lot more Latino, Mexicans. I'm sure we'll even see black guys, indigenous people, whatever, what have it. We'll probably even see white boys coming out as Namor. I mean, technically Namor is white if you look at the comics, but this is a different take and a different story done by Ryan Coogler. So we're definitely going to see a lot of people cosplaying this character. He definitely did the damn thing in there, and I love his backstory, and I love his reasoning for why he wanted to destroy all the people on land, all the colonizers, not necessarily Wakanda, although they do have their political conflicts. But I definitely thought he was a great anti-hero, and I hope we get to see more of him in the future. Now, this may seem like a spoiler, but I think everybody pretty much knows that Shuri becomes Black Panther in the film. Oh, yes. Look at these bloody yaddies. These are the pictures I had to send out earlier about, before we get to Shuri. And let's just let's just take a moment, child, and just bask in all this beauty. There's a couple other pictures, but when I'll let you know based on the photos that I sent, if I'll show you which one is not from Miguel. But anyway, so in my opinion, Shuri should have become Black Panther sooner in the film. I felt like y'all waited way too late in the film for her to all of a sudden come to this point that, you know what, the people need a symbol. People need Black Panther. Therefore, somebody has to step up. And there's a pivotal moment in the film, but there's another shocking situation that happens to a character in the film that has Shuri stepping up to become Black Panther. I want to spoil it, but I'll let y'all see it when you all see the film. But her finally stepping up, I just felt like it was way too late in the film. It should have started at least a good hour in. Like, you already made the statements and this, that, and the third, but it should have been a point where it was like, okay, now I got to step up to the mantle and become Black Panther. But they waited literally to the third act for her to just step up and all of a sudden come into this thing, and it just felt rushed, in my opinion. But I did think she made a good Black Panther, and it's kind of obvious because she becomes Black Panther in the comics when her brother can no longer be Black Panther. She steps up to the plate. So I actually didn't mind that. And I love Lupita Nyong'o being in the film and seeing what she was up to. She's off in Haiti. She didn't come to T'Challa's funeral. Then we find out why she didn't show up at the funeral. And we find out in the post-credit scene, which, bitch, I gagged with that post-credit scene. And you know what? I may have to do a spoiler. So I'll let you all know when I put the spoiler. I don't think we showed any of the pictures of the video. But anyway, I will, be like, spoiler alert, mute the thing, and then I'll wave my hands, and we have a spoiler alert sign, whatever the case. We'll put it up. But this is definitely a thing we need to discuss about that post-credit scene, because that post-credit scene gagged my ass, child. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with the third one. But anyway, to wrap this up, should they have recast T'Challa? Like I said, I honestly think based on the post-credit scene, they will most likely recast T'Challa, which we're going to get into in a minute. But I would say overall, this was one of the better Phase 4 movies, because honestly, I felt like it took me back to what I loved about the original phase of, Marvel, which was, it was telling a story, it was action, it was intrigue, it was, excuse me, the jokes were placed where they need to be placed, because so far, Phase 4, I've been disappointed with. I love Shang-Chi, did not particularly care for Eternals. I found that too damn boring and too long to get to the damn point. Hated. Hate is a strong word. Could not stand. Well, Doctor Strange, I was disappointed with. I don't like the fact that y'all made Wanda the villain. I'm like, y'all could have did better with that. And it just felt too much like a Sam Raimi movie than a Marvel movie. Hated Thor. Whatever the fuck the name of that last movie was. The jokes were terrible. I don't think Taika Waititi is funny. The jokes did not land for me. She-Hulk was cute, but it did not give me what I needed. It felt like y'all were trying to pounce too much on. And don't get me wrong, I'm a strong male. I love strong female characters. I have no problem with strong women on shit. In fact, I could watch a movie with women kicking ass all day. I've always been an advocate for seeing strong women on the big screen, the small screen, in superhero roles, in action roles, that sort of thing. Look, I'll even give you top 2 favorite female strong characters of all time: Sigourney Weaver as Ripley and Carrie-Anne Moss as Trinity. Those are like my all-time favorite top 2 female action stars, hands down. Oh, and then I'll throw in a third, the Bride from Kill Bill. So we'll throw her up in there too. Like, that's one of she top 3 chicks that I live for in regards of action movie roles. I could probably do a whole episode where we could just talk about like my favorite female action stars, or in those. And I live for Michelle Yeoh. Like, I watch her all damn day. But for the most part, for this film, it was just like. But it felt like in this film, with all the female-centric characters and stuff, with the women kind of like holding up Wakanda because Black Panther wasn't there, I felt like the women it felt right with the way they wrote the women in this film. The jokes landed where they needed to land. I was cackling at a lot of the jokes. I needed more M'Baku though. That's another thing too. Winston Duke, there wasn't enough M'Baku in this film. I wanted more of him. Hopefully, we'll get him in the third one. But yeah, I felt like y'all just kind of like held M'Baku back a little bit. Now, but I have to say, this is one of the best Phase 4 movies that I've seen in a while, and I hope they continue to keep that energy and figure out where the hell they're going. Now, let's talk about that post-credit scene. So, I'm about to spoiler. Spoiler. Okay. So, post-credit scene, we find out that Nakia and T'Challa have a son named T'Challa Jr. And he looked about 8 or 9, might be 10, I don't know. So a lot of time has passed. So now I'm wondering, because they said Ramonda met him, Queen Ramonda, she did meet the son, but had to keep it a secret, kept him away from the whole family, that sort of thing, wanted to keep him, like let him live his life without having the pressures of the throne and this, that, and the third. So he and his mother have been living all discreetly off in Haiti. And Shuri meets the child at the end of, the film. So it's like a continuation, whatever. So she keeps it a secret. So that implies that, yes, most likely, young T'Challa will become the new Black Panther down the road. So we need to, hey, Sailor Mermaid. So we need to figure out, okay, so now I'm wondering, because this has been a lot of time passed, it seems, from that post-credit scene, when we get Black Panther 3, what's going to happen in regards to that? Like, will Shuri continue to be Black Panther, or are we going to have this kid become Black Panther in the third one, and he'll be much older when the next film comes around? Because they could they do time jumps on House of the Dragon. They done age people 4 times in 10 episodes in one season. So if y'all can do that, we can do that with, and then of course you could explain, well, how come the mama ain't aged? Black don't crack. That's why Black don't crack, and that's what we just go with. They got that good old Wakanda shea butter. So anyway, made with the finest vibranium, purple. Anyway,